Hi, I'm John Beckett, author of the new book, Paganism In Depth, a Polytheist Approach. You know, when we first start out in school, in elementary school, or whatever it is they call it where you are, we're all together in the same room with the same teacher studying the same subjects. We're trying to learn the basics. As we move forward in our education, though, we start to specialize. We have electives and concentrations and majors. Some of us decide to study literature, some of us decide to study biology. I studied engineering. If you go on to graduate school and to the highest levels, you'll end up studying a very narrow field very intensely. It's much the same with our religion and spirituality. Very few of us grow up pagan. We discover paganism, we learn about the wheel of the year, we learn a little bit of magic, we learn the names of a few gods and goddesses. And for some people, that's all they ever want. And that's fine. There's more than one way to do paganism and to do paganism well. But for others, we're called to something deeper, to narrow our focus and to hone in on that one thing, that one area. For some, it's traditional witchcraft. For others, it's one of the many ethnic reconstructionisms. For me, it's polytheism. Honoring and worshiping and working with and working for the many gods. Or rather, some of the many gods. I couldn't get to all of them even if I tried. This is the mission of Paganism in Depth. It's a guidebook to going deeper into the forest, higher up the mountain, further out to sea, to go places where there are no maps, to figure out our way through luck and dedicated practice and a little help from the gods, and then to come back and draw maps for those who come after us. It's not an easy path. Some people can't do this work. Some people don't want to do this work. Only you can decide if you're ready to take this journey or not. I can't decide it for you. But as for me, I can't imagine doing anything else.
Part 1 of Paganism in Depth covers foundations, the ideas, concepts, and principles on which my paganism and polytheism are built. Foundations that are different from those of our sometimes Christian, sometimes atheist mainstream society. The interlude is titled, I like it here, why do I have to leave? Oftentimes we get comfortable with something and we're reluctant to change. But if we want to learn and grow, we have to be willing to move into unfamiliar territory. Part 2 is practice. All the things we do on a regular basis that build our skills and strengthen our relationships with our gods and spirits. We covered some of this in The Path of Paganism. We'll go deeper in Paganism in Depth. Part 3 is challenges. Let's not kid ourselves. Deeper practice is hard, and it can bring challenges we haven't seen before. We'll cover things like roadblocks, demanding gods, and perhaps the biggest challenge in modern paganism, building healthy communities. Paganism in Depth is now available from Llewellyn, from Amazon, from Barnes & Noble, and from selected bookstores and magical shops. If your favorite outlet doesn't have it, ask them to get it for you. As the title implies, I think people who read this book are more likely than your average pagan to want to take their own paganism deeper. To help facilitate this, later this summer there will be a 6-week online class based on Paganism in Depth. It wasn't written as a textbook, but I think we can use it for that just fine. Each week we'll have a video presentation delivered on demand. I keep seeing all these cool classes by great teachers, and I never take them because their times never work for me. Even if they make their classes available afterwards, I still don't do it. The ones I've actually done have been classes I can do when I can do them, so that's how I'm going to structure my own classes. Each class will have homework, reading, practice, and writing about what you experience. It isn't mandatory, If you don't want to do the homework, that's your business. But if you go to the trouble of doing it, I'll go to the trouble of reading it and offering feedback. No, there will be no grades. Sorry, all you Hermione types. The cost is $50 for the entire 6-week series. I know some teachers who charge that much for a single class, and most of them are worth it. But I'm new to this, plus you need to buy the book, so I'm trying to keep the cost as low as possible. There will be a limited number of scholarships available for those experiencing financial difficulties. I'm targeting a start at Lunasad, so on or around August 1st. Sign-up will begin in July. Want to hear me speak live? I'll be at Mystic South in Atlanta, July 19th through 21st. I'll be presenting Connecting to the Land Where You Are and Self-Care for Priests and Other Pagan Leaders. And I'll be presenting a shorter version of Connecting to the Land Where You Are in a UU Sunday service at the Denton Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Denton, Texas on July 28th, and at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Victoria, Texas on August 25th. If you missed my first book, The Path of Paganism, it's still available from all the usual sources. And I blog 3 times a week on paganism, polytheism, current affairs, and anything else that strikes me at Under the Ancient Oaks, which is part of the Patheos Pagan channel.
I enjoyed writing Paganism in Depth. I hope you enjoy reading it, and I hope it helps you find the level of depth and commitment that's right for you. That's all for this video. May the blessings of the gods and ancestors be with you, now and in the days to come.